If I had a child, real child, I would leave it in the woods for 1 year. I would check on it with a telescope, but I would like to see how it fends for itself. Best piece of advice I have ever given is just be yourself. And if no one likes this, change. I just want to be myself. I just want to express myself. But what if you're a shitty person? What if you have nothing good to offer? Become something different, change. Yeah.
If you were a politician, what would your platform be?
Don't look at me, please.
If you could do any other job, what would it be?
Window washer. Hang from a wire and make things clear. Very philosophical.
With all that you've accomplished, is there anything else that you want to do?
No. I'm ready for death tonight. Help Me, I'm Dying. Show title, not to be taken literally, is metaphorical in nature. Although, if you think about it, am I not really just an animated sack of human meat shellacked with a poisonous shell of cosmetic? In this sense, please help me.
The ballroom was filled with fashion's throng. It shone with 1,000 lights, and there was a woman who passed along, the fairest of all the sights. A boy to himself softly sighed. She married for wealth, not love, he cried. But now she lives in a mansion grand. And she's only a bird in a gilded cage, a beautiful sight to see. You may think that she's happy and free from all care.
Yeah, we did. It's good to see a mass art grad do something decent with their career. At least 10 years.
Oh, it's
longer.
15
Yeah.
for
Have
me.
you been to the campus? It's insane what they've done now. The
Really?
teachers aren't jaded anymore. It's all amazing.
Oh my God! Why is there? It's all.
It's beautiful.
It's good now. But I was like a crack whore for a while. So you know, it's like.
Yeah. I know exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's been like 10 years. I'm like, yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much for coming back to Boston. It's been way too long.
It has been too long. Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Enjoy
great.
the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come on in.
I just sold your aunt my ticket.
Oh, nice.
Your Aunt Kathy.
Shut the fuck up. You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. I wish I was kidding.
Aunt Kathy.
Yes.
Where did you come
Auntie Olga! Can you believe I got in here? I'm not kidding. You wouldn't believe the story. This
Why
is for
did
you.
you fucking call me?
I
You
tried
crazy-
today
Oh, you did.
and I texted you.
I
But
didn't
this
remember.
is for you. Can my friends take a picture of us all together? Because you won't believe how we got in here.
Did you scam your way
No,
in here?
kind of, but we're here. we're here. Friends of the family. Oh, thank you.
my God.
Thank you.
No, I meant what I said. You're the best thing to come out of sin. Because that department.
Yeah, I guess it is. Now I'm doing exactly what I went to school for.
Right? It's crazy.
Yeah, getting paid lots of cash. Cash. Yeah,
Probably
cash,
one of the
money, cash,
one of the only ones, I bet.
Yes.
And we are starting tonight. Are you ready? Balcony, are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the human cigarette herself, Katya!
I stood in the churchyard just at eve, when sunset adored the west, and looked at the people who'd come to grieve for loved ones now laid at rest. A tall marble monument marked the grave of one who'd been fashion's queen. And I thought, she is happier here at rest than to have people say when they've seen. It's sad when you think of her wasted life and the woman who passed along. The hot summer rustles as the western light fails, like a carnival.
When I was like 11, I went to see Cirque du Soleil for the first time, and I didn't know what it was. And my father got tickets for the whole family to go see, and I like creamed my pants. Like, I was like, my jaw was like on the floor the whole time. I was like, the whole time. And then I was like obsessed. And then it was 2 years until their next show would come to Boston. And I did one of those things on the calendar where I X'd off every day until the show was like 3 months in the future. And then when we got to that show, I sat down and I was like, this is it. It's so small. And then I watched the show, and then the show ended, and on the car ride home for 45 minutes, I cried because it was so disappointing.
Boston! Shut up! Спасибо. Listen, Boston, I just have to tell you right off the bat, there is a pool of ecstatic juice forming in my midsection. I am so overcome with this ecstatic feeling to be back in my hometown. Shut up. I don't want the ego, okay? I don't want it. But ladies and gentlemen, добро пожаловать и добрый вечер to each and every single fucking one of you. My name is Katya Zamolodchikova, but please just call me Katya. Hi. This is incredible. This is incredible. We are at the Wilbur. We are at the Wilbur. And it is so exciting for me to entertain you in this context because I have to admit, the nightclub circuit has lost its luster. At this time, I would be just beginning my makeup to prepare for an evening of sweating off 3/4 of my body weight until people are literally died of alcohol poisoning, except one who pukes right on me. But we are here in a theater. In a theater. It feels like home. You see, the theater, it's in my blood. Quite literally, I was stabbed here this morning. And for those of you who have not yet had the dubious pleasure of making my acquaintance, hello. I am simply your average, run-of-the-mill Russian bisexual transvestite hooker. Enchanté, enchanté. And I can sense already something I must address is this phenomenon known as cognitive dissonance. Because what you are seeing, what you are visually processing with your eyeball is no doubt the spitting image of Michelle Pfeiffer. Yes. Yes. However, the auditory sensation that enters inside your ear hole is Borat. Don't become emotional. It is simply an unfortunate characteristic of every single Russian woman that we are supermodel over 6 foot tall, but we sound like your Uncle Jerry. It's my cross to bear. Also, I must address a very unsettling fact that you are right now processing the fact that I am a concert violinist. New discoveries can be very stressful for the nervous system, so we process together now. Okay. So thank you so much for coming tonight. This show, how should I say, if you are a fan of logical narrative flow, we don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. If you've ever soaked a dirty diaper in lysergic acid during the months of July in Siberia, and then squeezed it out into your mouth in August, that's a little bit of what you have in store for you tonight. Glad to see that you have remained totally disgusting. And I know, listen, I am, yes, a very beautiful woman, but not without struggle. Not without struggle. I was trying so desperately to organize the events of my life into some kind of concise and consistent presentation, but I was coming up nil. I remember probably a year ago, I was in my apartment, perched on my stovetop, just clutching a very big warm mug of Diet Pepsi. And Diet Pepsi. You cannot beat the real thing. And ladies and gentlemen, as the afternoon light filtered in through the window, my dark and swollen areola were clearly visible through the worn and weathered cotton of my Target nightgown. And I was losing myself in many moments of deep narcissistic reflection, wondering, how do I tell this story of my life? So I figured, why not just start at the beginning? I was born in Russia. At the age of 3, I was mauled by a bear. So naturally, I skipped puberty. And at 4.5, being a fully formed, grown adult human woman, you can imagine the jealousy. Oh. But despite this fact, my mother at the time, she insisted on tucking me into bed each and every night and telling me bedtime story. Now, story always the same every night. She would get very close to my face, like too close, and with a sort of twisted maniacal grimace, she would tell me, Katinka, the moment you were born is a moment from which I will never, ever physically, emotionally, or spiritually recover. It was as if the devil himself rose up from hell, wrenched apart my legs, and transformed my pelvis into a food processor, churning my innards into this hellish stew of blood and gristle from which your bulbous head appeared. The gaping maw, somehow backlit, was emitting a screech and a scream so piercing, so horrible, I knew at this moment I had to contend with the fact that this was to be the soundtrack to the horror film my life had become. They say that hindsight's 50-50. I don't believe this woman liked me very much. Now, my father, he was very typical Russian man, very typical, proud, drunk, and dead by 50. But At the very least, I am consoled by the fact that he died doing what he loved. Drowning. It's important to have a passion. So, not shortly after this, I go to live with my grandmother. She was a blind, crippled, amnesiac woman. I believe you call her quirky. And she was very helpful in her no-nonsense approach towards life. She would tell me, Katinka, listen, the world, horrible place. People rotten to the core. They will lie, cheat, and steal from you at every turn. So please, if for nothing else than a few welcome moments of distraction, try your best not to be ugly. She was also very helpful in elucidating quite concisely the difference between the Russian psyche and the rest of the world as she was dying, wheezing her last fetid breaths into the atmosphere. She turned to me very dramatically and said, "In Russia, no one expects to be happy." She also died standing up, which was very impressive. Very impressive. So, you know, I hate to admit it, but yes, I am cliche in the sense that I go to America. I'm seeking fame, yeah, fortune, okay. But just between us girls, what I'm really looking for, really searching for is exhilarating bouts of fully penetrative sexual congress. You like sex? Yes. It's very good, but I quickly understand that, at least as far as American men are concerned, my approach towards a romantic overture is disarmingly direct. I have a technique. I waltz into the bar. Tap, tap, tap. Excuse me, sir, would you care to do sex to my genital tonight? I average about a 45% success rate with this technique. Other times, though, ladies, I'm sure you can understand, women are busy people. I don't have time for this song and dance, so I simply whack them on the back of the head and go, 100% success rate with this one, every single time. And just as a quick note, I encountered this very mysterious Chinese refugee in the bathroom of JFK Airport once. And she said that if you sort of hunch over like you're about to throw up and make your tongue like a loaf of bread, it's very sexy. Watch this. Something to do with the parasympathetic nervous system, but I'm not a scientist, so I don't know. Like I said, even in the boudoir, I am not without struggle. You have to understand that even for someone as effortlessly seductive and beautiful as me, I'm not your average girl. I'm not your typical woman. You see, my vagina, that's Russian for asshole, it's a little bit further back. Slightly shittier model. And it requires a level of care and attention that is reserved mostly for Serbian men dying of prostate cancer. It's touch and go. And I dream big, and I embody an expensiveness which most single men cannot accommodate. For example, like I told my last boyfriend, he was a Belgian painter with no hands. The sex was bizarre. I broke up with one afternoon and I said, listen, honey, your penis, yes, it's like a prince in a fairy tale, but my vagina is a Ken Burns miniseries.
Excuse me, some more coffee, please.
Oh, too easy.
Girl, what is going on with you?
Nothing. I'm not hungry.
Then why did you ask me out to lunch? I mean, I could be out with any of my other friends pretending I like them.
I just really wanted to come here.
To Hamburger Mary's.
This Hamburger Mary's.
Okay. Why this Hamburger Mary's?
It's kind of embarrassing.
Are you banging the busboy? You know, he doesn't have a bus. He tells everybody that.
No. I had a dream about this place.
Oh, God.
I know.
Aren't you the one who's always saying, oh, I'd rather plow my face into a shovel than listen to people talk about their dreams?
Yes, but I had the same dream twice.
That you lost Drag Race?
Yeah, but, okay. This is different. I've had this dream before, and there's something about it. It seems real.
Okay, cunt, tell me about your stupid wet dream.
It's the second one I've had, and they're both exactly the same. Except you're over there. And I can sort of sense that there's something outside by the dumpster.
The trick scene's terrible. It's just awful. Oh, your career?
Yes, no, well, that's fair. You're in both dreams, and you're scared. And once I get it that you're scared, I become terrified because you feel it too. So that's how I think it's real. And then I realize what it is.
Katya, I don't feel that way about you. Okay, we could do like some hand stuff, but that's as far as I'm gonna go.
Why would just a blowjob, maybe a blowjob?
No.
Okay, fine, that's okay. Okay, so but in the dream, there's a woman. I can see her face. She's rotted, and she has these gold hoop earrings on.
Morgan McMichaels.
Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. I just hope. I hope I never have to see that face ever again.
Wait, didn't you jerk off a homeless guy behind that dumpster?
Twice.
And he wasn't homeless. He was just in between living situations, which is totally understandable, but that's beside the point. Like, I know something's out there, and I can't describe what it is. I know it's insane, but I had to come here to see if...
To see if he'll move in with you,
No, I just need this feeling to go away.
Okay, Sylvia Hash Brown. I'm gonna go pay for this, and then you and I are gonna go jerk off your dream hobo.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You have a huge vagina. You can do this.
are heavier than I thought. Okay, I'm bored.
Has anyone seen my dead dog?
A little maiden tugged her uncle's glove. Why are you single? Where is your love? I had a sweetheart. I'll tell it all. I believed her faithless after the ball. After the ball is over, after the break of dawn, after the dancers leaving, after the stars are gone, many a heart is aching. If you could read them all, many the hopes that have vanished after the ball.
Fucking A, Boston. How are we feeling tonight? What's up, guys? My name is Trish Thompson. I'm a hairdresser. I cut hair out of my mom's garage, just whatever. And what an honor. What a fucking pleasure. What a privilege it is to be standing here, a woman of grace and dignity in her home fucking town. Celebrating as I am, 14 days clean and sober by the grace of God. Still smoking a little bit apart. And just in the spirit of honesty, I made it taking a half dozen antihistamines before the show. Washed them down with a full bottle of Robitussin, but listen, it's my journey, it's my miracle. And I'm very happy to be here. Now, before we get into it, I got a little bit of programming note. I'm not exactly technically allowed to be outside the house at the current time. However, should my PO wiggle through that back door, I feel like I got a solution. Hang on, let's see if this works. Where'd she go? Nobody knows. Oh, shit. Not pregnant, by the way, just eating real good these days. And, oh, Boston, it's such a, this place is in my heart. My heart has here, honey. You just hold on there for things. The only town where an out-of-town visitor will pretty much be guaranteed 3 things. Number 1, you're gonna get spat on. Number 2, you're gonna get called a racial slur, but the wrong one. And at the end of the night, no matter what day of the week it is, you're gonna find yourself in the curious position of being convinced to help somebody light their car on fire. Boston, it is wonderful. Now, anybody here from the suburbs? We got Peabody. Anybody here from Peabody? Swampscott? Revere? Saugus? Ernie Bach Jr. right on Route 1 in Saugus on the Auto Mile. Ernie Bach Jr. Get yourself a nice fucking Toyota, Ernie Bach Jr. Ah! Ah! Patriots won the Super Bowl. I don't know nothing about football, but I'm very excited. Very excited. Despite visibly struggling with some fibromyalgia, chronic pain, I got a crick neck, I got a bum leg, I got some patchy psoriasis on my right thigh, but through it all, I'm here. I'm delighted to share this moment with you. Now, I gotta be honest again with you, though. I know it's a comedy show, but I feel compelled to share that I'm feeling a little bit of fear. I got a little anxiety, because, oh, I love you too, hun. And listen, I know you, Marie, you lost a lot of weight, hun, and you look fantastic. I know, and honey, girl, I know the struggles with that keto diet is working wonders for you. And don't listen to Denise, she's just jealous. She's a fucking bitch, you know, don't let her get you down. But honey, go with God, you are doing great. Mwah. Anyways, like I was saying, I'm filled with fear. And I'm rapidly approaching a point in my life where I'm having to kind of reconcile the fact that, yeah, I'm getting older and some of my feminine wiles are no longer at my disposal. You know, back in the day, I could charm the pants off any priest. I know, in this archdiocese, that's not really that impressive, but... but it is if you got a pussy, so... Patriots won the Super Bowl! But, you know, I'm quickly realizing that menopause is not exactly what it's cracked up to be, and I'm worried that my powers of seduction are really losing their luster every day. And so I wondered, and I was curious, I don't know, I hope it's not too much of an imposition, but I thought I might ask if there might be a gentleman here tonight who wouldn't mind, in a manner of speaking, coming up here to take a little walk on the wild side. You here in front? Hey, no, just sit down. No, you gotta just. What's your name, hun? Baze. What? Baze. Is that foreign? That's your mother? What the fuck were you on when you named him, hun? No, don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. God, white people. If you don't mind, I'm gonna call you Brandon. Is that all right? So. Brandon, what I need you to do is very calmly and gingerly just stand up and wiggle right over these stairs, okay? Because I want you to come on stage, all right? Yeah. Oh, God, touch of the sciatica, too. Hey, Brandon, how are you? Give it up for Brandon, everybody. All right, now just hold there for 1 second. I want you to just plant your butt right in this chair. What a nice, handsome man he is, huh? So, Brandon, I want you to just completely relax, no pressure. I'm not gonna make you do no song and dance and nothing, embarrass yourself in front of your mother. But what I would like you to do is close your eyes, yes, right. Sit back and drop into a state of relaxation so total that you forget where you are and where you're from. Take a deep breath in. Good. Now, if we can employ your powers of visualization for just a moment, imagine that you're on a sunlit beach. Oh, you get a timeshare down in the Turks and Caicos. Now, you know it's a scam, but you're a young, hopeful man who just got nothing for the best of your future. Now you're just lounging on the sand, wearing a nice Speedo, and your pubic hair is peeking out through the sides, but nobody's there to judge you. Nobody's there to harass you. You're just living your truth, your big gay truth, right on the shore. The sun blazing in the background, the waves lapping at your little piggies, and you are just totally calm, totally relaxed, totally at peace, until you happen to notice out of the corner of your eye a strange, shadowy figure. Could be a woman. It's hard to tell. But what is certainly clear is that this figure, this entity, this being is grooving. She is grooving. And as she slowly but methodically makes her way towards you, you begin to take stock of your life. Like I said, you're a young man with a bright future. You did great in college, but as this entity, as this being approaches, you can't help but conjure up images from that movie, The Exorcist, or The Ring, or Adventures in Babysitting. Point is, your mind is going a mile a minute as this being, this woman, this thing is undulating, gyrating, inching closer towards you with each breath as you prepare for what seems like could be an overture of romantic interest or a sexually predatory attack. But either way, you brace yourself as a strange, pungent, acrid aroma wafts from her genitalia. And you did great on the SATs, but that's not gonna help you here, hon. And you bite down hard and just grip your thighs as she prepares to make her mount. And Brandon, just in a flash, she's gone. Evaporated into thin air, you are left feeling with this sense of loneliness, of longing. She's graciously concealing the semi-chub that has popped up in your shorts right now. You are rocketed back to a reality so distant, so disturbing, you are left to wonder, how is it that for just a few brief, short moments I was able to fall so completely in love with this humpbacked woman? How did I allow herself to display her genitals so clearly, so close to my face, and allow her to sweat all over me? How did I let her get away? And more importantly, how did she manage to get away with my wallet? I'm happy to report that, initially the whole point of this exercise was to see if I still got it in a sense, but I'm less concerned with how you're feeling right now because, to be perfectly honest, Brandon, I think I'm a little wet downstairs. And, as long as my engine is still capable of revving up, I don't really care what's going on with you. But I do want to thank you for being the catalyst, because oh, you know what? it's a little bit of pee. Never mind. But in any case, I would like to let you know that it has been sworn to me by several physicians, medical doctors, that the herpes simplex virus is not communicable through trompe-l'oeil denim. So, for tonight, hon, you're in the clear, nothing to worry about, but I would like to thank you for coming up here. Give it up for Brandon, everybody. Oh. One sec. Thank you so much, Bub. Thank you so much. Woo. Oh. What a crowd, what a night. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so super jazzed to be here. Now, it's funny, the human body is, what a mystery, the human body. I remember back in '97, I got my period every single day for like 8 or 9 months. And I think it was at a Christmas party that I realized, that Robitussin's kicking in. Shit. Well, where was I? Oh, yeah, listen. 8 or 9 months straight in a row every single day, and then during the holidays, I'm at a fucking Christmas party down in Lowell. And I realized it's just a wound. From a fucking samurai sword. I can be such a ditzy blonde. Hello. But now, in terms of... Now, if we're examining the broad tapestry of human emotion and the experience of being a person, I gotta tell you, my favorite thing in the world is this sort of soul-crunching, abject sense of humiliation, shame.
The silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. In the west, the falling light still glows, and the clustered housetops glitter in the sun, but here death is already chalking the doors with crosses and calling the ravens. And the ravens are flying in.
Hi, guys. Wow. First of all, thank you for being like the best crowd ever. This is so wonderful. And yes, did you stone those tights? I certainly did stone these tights, yeah. It's great to be back in what was my hometown for 35 fucking years. Well, Boston for about good 15, and then Marlboro, just like the cigarettes, for... a terrible, horrible, nondescript suburb right central Massachusetts. Anybody here from Marlboro?
Yeah! Ah! Eli Manning!
I'm from the television, but for many of you, I'm just from literally right down the street. I used to live right above Jacques Cabaret. Yep. Yep. And for so many years, we did a show. For so many years, did a wonderful show called Perestroika that, And it was a much simpler time in my life where I was a part-time hooker. And I do not wish to stand here before you, Bob, I won't do it, and glamorize the life of prostitution, but I have to confess that, yes, it was the best job I ever had. I made my own hours. I was my own boss. I had a schedule on a whiteboard in my bathroom. And it was the most interesting job from a sociological point of view. From a financial perspective, not so much. And here's why. Because I was so bad at receiving money from the Johns. There was one time in particular that I'm a little bit embarrassed to admit, so why not do it on the special? I recently became an uncle, so I know that one day in the future, my lovely little nephew will grow up to be a man and will watch this and feel horrified by it. There was this old man who about maybe 65, 66 years old, who I brought up to my apartment to engage in a little bit of sexual transaction. And long... Okay. You know, that is the marvel of verbal communication. In that one word, 2 syllables, I felt seen, I felt heard, and there was this palpable sense of empathy. Just come. Namaste to you. Thank you so much. But so one night, one lonely night, long story short, I licked this grandpa's ass. And when it came time to collect payment, which of course, girls, you gotta do it up front, I neglected to do this, and so when I humbly requested to be paid, he proceeded to offer me 40 sweat-stained, lipstick-imprinted, single-dollar bills that I thought was a little bit curious because I had just done a show earlier that night and made about $45. But I thought, you know what? Grandpas are honest people. And so I accepted the money, and then I said, well, the thing is, there's actually, you're $60 short. And he's like, oh, well, I'll just run over to the ATM and I'll be right back. And I was like, okay, Grandpa, I'll wait right here. And for about an hour and 45 minutes, I went through the full range of human emotion, starting at frustration, shame, fear, and just circling round and round and round. And I believe it was that moment where I became grizzled, ornery, and surly, that grandpa is lucky he didn't come back, because I would have tore him a new fucking asshole. And probably would have licked that one too. But thank God, through the marvels of television, I was able to transcend this horrible fate and become a reality TV superstar. Oh, thank God. But before that happened, I enrolled in college. At first, I went to Boston University. Everybody know Boston University? I decided to study the lucrative and practical major known as French literature. But then I decided I don't want to just work for the man, so I transferred to art school and enrolled in, decided to settle on something that was a little even more lucrative, more practical, performance art. So I enrolled in the Massachusetts College of Art and Design. And my first day of school was wild. Well, actually, first day of school was 9/11, so that was ominous. Yeah, that was ominous. But second day of school, let me tell you. So, what? It's true. I didn't do it. Bush did. So, the first day of art school, so we had a low-tech performance group, which in my major meant, like, if you wanted to do some kind of performance that did not involve a lot of technology, like sing a song or do a dramatic reading, something like that. So we all gathered in a beautiful courtyard on campus, and we all sat down on a bench as the first girl to do her presentation stood up and walked very calmly right to the center of the courtyard, turned around, looked at us all, and then proceeded to take off every single article of clothing she had on. Once completely stripped naked, she closed her eyes, took a few deep breaths, opened her eyes, looked at us all in the face, and then proceeded to scream bloody murder at the top of her lungs. And I'm not talking like, it was as if every serial killer in the history of the world was butchering her in the sense that she was screaming. Her face was beet red, the veins bulging in her forehead. People all around the building are like, what the fuck is going on? As we, her classmates, are just staring passively, okay. And then, after 2 to 3 minutes of continuous blood-curdling shrieking, it happened. She started pissing. And listen, I love water sports, so I'm not like, this was not a tinkle, this was not a trickle. This was some fucking demonic Mr. Ed fire hose, thick fucking piss stream, like creating at least a 6-inch divot into the fucking courtyard grass. She was hissing and hissing. And she could have, like, if you had held her horizontally, you could have used her as a battering ram to get into a... And then finally, it stopped. She closed her eyes and composed herself. And then gathered her clothes, put them back on, and just walked back over for a very reasonable critique. But the kicker was, it was so strange. We actually had a very thoughtful discussion about what we had just witnessed. It was the first day of school. And the strange thing was, though, about the third or fourth student who was offering commentary, she interrupted and said, wait. Did I pee? Mary, there's a crater in the courtyard that you just did with your I fucking pee. That's when I knew I had made the right decision to go to art school. Oh. True story. Now, you know, I wish it was all fun and games. After leaving art school, I sort of carried on in the long tradition of artistic life. I became a drug addict, but after some protracted years of turbulence, I finally achieved my dream. Now, I had been applying to RuPaul's Drag Race for years. They have a very rigorous and involved application process where you have to submit so many materials. It's so arduous, and I think for that reason, it's, you know, they weed out a lot of people who aren't that serious, but finally, after I think 5 or 6 times, I got the call, and I was just about to give up. I had actually already enacted Plan B, which was to become a therapist. Right. Okay. Now, I am so grateful that I was able to, you know, that both I and many, many mentally ill people in New England were able to dodge a bullet that day. But I finally got the call, and I got on RuPaul's Drag Race. But when I was moving to Los Angeles recently, I came across all this old crap, and in a box was old videotapes, and some of these videotapes were the clips from the very first audition video I submitted for RuPaul's Drag Race, and I want to show you a clip. Is that okay? Now, you have to realize this was before YouTube. There was no easy way to figure out how to do makeup. It was very spackle over sandpaper kind of trial and error. So the makeup application techniques are a bit primitive. However, I do believe that the charisma, the uniqueness, the so on and so forth are present. So please take a look at my very first audition videotape. Take a look. Wait, that's the wrong clip. Oh, shit. I am so sorry. I tried out for the Boy Scouts of America. So we're almost at the end of the show, but it is clearly stipulated in my contract that since it is a comedy show, I have to tell a joke. So I'm taking this very seriously. I have a joke. I have one good joke, and I'd love to tell it to you tonight. I've been practicing for about 3.5 years, and I'm gonna watch a lot of YouTube clips about how to do stand-up, and I'm gonna do a little stand-up comedy right from over here. I'm just gonna enter from this place to a stand-up comedy. Watch a lot of YouTube clips and know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, Boston! Wow! Hey, whoa! Hey, what is the deal with? Can you help me figure out? I have no idea, ladies. Here's the thing. Let me tell my joke. If I don't tell my joke, they won't let me off the stage and give me my money. here's my joke. Okay. 你好吗? Shh. What did the gay necrophiliac say about his ex-lover? That rotten asshole split on me again. Oh, Boston, thank you so much. I love you. 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 Ah! Thank you. 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 Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
За чистого твоем, из я тебя я пью. За ложь меня предавщику, за мир ты голый глаз, за то, что мир жесток и груб, за то, что Бог не спас.